Welcome everybody to the speaker orientation call for STPCon. That's coming up here in San Diego in just a couple weeks, starting on March 30th through April 2nd. I am Rick Baucom. I am here to just kind of run down a few things for you to know about to make sure that you're well prepared when you arrive in San Diego. I'm also here to answer questions. And speaking of questions, you will notice on your little control panel for the GoToWebinar that there's a little questions little bar that you can actually type questions in as they come up. I will answer them probably toward the end, but if it comes up and it's something that I can answer for the entire group, it makes sense, I will do so right away. So without further ado, why don't we just go ahead and get started and kick this off. Looks like Michael Larson has joined us here. He's already found the question panel, so that's a good thing. Well, once again, welcome, and we're really excited about this year, this spring here in San Diego. We've got probably one of the best lineups we've ever had. Honestly, it just seems to be getting better and better every single STPCon. We did a little bit of a different format this particular conference, and it seems to be working pretty well. As many of you know, we in prior STPCons, we did 1 day of workshops and 2.5 days of conference. We decided to change that up a little bit based on a lot of feedback that we received from the attendees, and now we have 2 days of conferences and 2 days of workshops and 2 days of conference. So as a result, we've actually seen an increase, slight increase in registrations due to that, as well as due to the fabulous program that we have set up. And I'd like to kind of shout out to the Community Advisory Board for helping us with that, with the program and with everything. They've been very, very helpful overall, figuring out our program, figuring out what we're going to do for activities at the conference, and all sorts of things like that. So again, we really thank our Community Advisory Board. And if you'd like to see who's on the Community Advisory Board, you can do so by going to STPConS15.com, and under the speakers section, there's Meet the Community Advisory Board as well. So check that out. We may have future opportunities as well to be a part of the Community Advisory Board. And if you'd like to do that, you can just let us know. You can send us an email at info@softwaretestpro.com. All right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get into it here. Again, welcome everybody. We've got a good group on the phone here. We're also recording this session, so if you'd like to reference it in the future, you can. We've just got some good details for you here. To start off, I would like to kind of just introduce the staff. This is the STPCon staff. That's it. Myself, Rick Baucom. There's my email address as well as my mobile phone number. You can reach me on that phone number on site. I will be all over the place usually during the conference, but if you have a question or an issue or something along those lines, make sure you have my mobile phone number with you, and you can give me a call, and we can get you taken care of. Peggy Libby, she's the president CEO of Software Test Professionals. She will be on site as well at the Reg desk normally, and then we have James Steiner, who will also be at the Reg desk and running around with me a lot. So we're there to help you guys. James's mobile number is there as well, so if you want to write that down. I know many of you are probably familiar with James and all of his emails that he's been sending you. And Brad, I don't think Brad just sent a note. I don't think he's going to bring his helmet and goggles to the conference, but I may be wrong. I don't know. He likes to wear those around the office on occasion. So at any rate, this is good information for you to have. So you can write this down, and I'll also post this presentation as well later on after our meeting here. All right, so of course we are going to be in San Diego at the Sheraton Hotel and Marina Bay Tower. That's important. This is actually a picture taken from the Marina Tower, looking at the Bay Tower there behind the S there. And of course, there's the big marina right there. We were in San Diego just a couple years ago, and we stayed at the Marina Tower. It was a wonderful property. Great things to do downtown in the evening. So, it's just a cab ride away to the Gas Lamp District, sorry, and you can check that out. But the Bay Tower is the one over there behind the S. I don't know why I really obscured that, but at any rate, this is where we'll be. So there's some important information for you there. You can also go check out information about the hotel at stpcon.com/hotel. That's on the website. So let me just run down kind of the agenda for the week. We've got a number of kind of like high level important things to think about and to be a part of as the STPCon speaker. Faculty. We kind of look to you guys as kind of an extension of our staff. You're representing STPCon. We're there to help you, the staff is, but we also know that you guys are really kind of the front lines during the actual conference itself with the attendees. You're in the rooms with them during sessions and workshops. You're chatting with them in the hallways. And if someone asks you a question that you just can't answer or something like that, if you direct them to the reg desk or myself or any of the staff members, definitely we'll be able to get them taken care of. And if you have a question, same goes. Just let us know and we'll figure it out. But here's the kind of high level schedule. There's some other things in here that aren't mentioned, but a lot of that stuff is more important when you're on site. But one thing I wanted to point out. We have, of course, the 2 days of workshops start on Monday, but on Sunday from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., Andy Grabner from Dynatrace will be giving an application performance clinic. It's a free clinic that he does all over the country, and it's quite fun. I know that there's several of our CAB members that have actually participated in these before, and they're great fun. So it's bring your own application, and you can use some tools to test the application and see how it performs and those kind of things under certain conditions. And Andy's got a little video as well as a description online that you can actually look at and check out what's going to be going on during this actual clinic. So again, it runs from 2 to 7 p.m. and we kind of did it that way because we know a lot of folks come in on Sunday afternoon. So if you show up to the hotel, stop by the reg desk, which is going to be in the Bay Tower on the ground floor in the Bel Air lobby. We'll get you hooked up with your badge and everything like that. Then you can run over right by the same little area there to the shutters room where this performance clinic will be going on. It should be a lot of fun. So please, you guys, check that out. Day one workshops begin Monday morning. The classes begin at 8 a.m. A little bit early, but that's when the classes start. Breakfast is served from 7 to 8 a.m. So it's going to be an early morning. Those of you living further east will have a better time than those of you living out on the West Coast. But we decided to do 7 a.m. For the breakfasts for the workshops so that we could give a little bit more time inside the workshop. So day one runs on the 30th from 8 to 5. Monday evening from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. we have the live Perf Bites podcast, which is honestly one of my favorite things to attend. I go every single time. I see we have James Pulley in the room here. James is, of course, one of the personalities there, along with Mark Tomlinson on the Perf Bites podcast, and it's great fun. And this conference, we're actually going to kick off the conference with the Perf Bites podcast. So we can talk a little bit about what's going to come up, what people can expect at STPCon as well. So. Mark also tells me we might be doing some live podcasting from the welcome reception floor as well. So that should be kind of fun as well. Day two, again, starting at 7 a.m. you have breakfast, and then at 8 a.m. the classes start in earnest. Tuesday evening, at 5 to 6:30 p.m. I'm sorry, about 5 to 6:30. It just depends on when people kind of come and go. We have the meet and greet. This is something we really request that you join us for. If you were definitely, most everybody will be in San Diego at that point. Come if you weren't here for any of the workshop days, you're not leading a workshop or attending workshops because you paid for those. Please come to the meet and greet. This is an opportunity for the speakers to get together to chat with each other and shake hands. But moreover, it's there so that the attendees can actually get to know you as the speaker and kind of break the ice early, kind of talk about some subjects, talk about some issues. I've heard from several meet and greets that we've done in the past that some of the speakers actually get some neat little ideas and tidbits to add into their presentations as a side note, so they can kind of address issues of attendees that are there already. So it's really, really good to come, and there'll be some drinks and some hors d'oeuvres and that kind of thing. So just come, relax, enjoy the evening. We'll be doing it out in the Bay Tower Lounge patio, which will be outside. It should be a beautiful evening there in San Diego. So just come on out, join us for this meet and greet. We really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to that. So then on Wednesday, the 1st of April, STPCon begins in earnest at 8 a.m. Breakfast starts at 8 a.m. this day. So from 8 to 9, we have the breakfast, and then at 9 a.m., we kick off with our first keynote, Bob Galen. And he'll be doing his presentation at 9. And then after that, we go right into the sessions, the session blocks that we have available. So if you're not familiar with the schedule there as far as the session blocks, please check it out on stpcon.com and go to schedule, and you'll see that information as well. So Wednesday afternoon, of course, we, as usual, we have lunch. We guys try to feed you often. And directly after lunch, we will have the speed geeking. This is on there because typically the people that lead the speed geeking are our session leaders, our workshop leaders, you guys that will be participating in these. If you don't know what they are, they're little short 8-minute presentations that you give to people standing around a round table right after lunch. So we'll have signs that are on the table. We'll assign each table with a particular speaker and topic. You have 8 minutes, and then we have 3 rounds of 8-minute presentations. At the end, we do a prize giveaway for all the people that are participating, and so they get a chance to win a couple prizes, which is nice as well. So that's speed geeking on Wednesday. That evening, the welcome reception in the expo hall. This is in the Catalina Ballroom. It's on the 2nd floor, and we kind of have an interesting space this year. We have an indoor-outdoor space. So we have the ballroom, it's a relatively small ballroom, and then a really nice patio so that we can go outside and enjoy the evening and do some networking and chat with some sponsors. One of the things I'm really happy about this year, SOSTA is our platinum sponsor this year. They're going to be in full force at STPCon this year. I did forget to mention that they are actually sponsoring the meet and greet on Tuesday as well. So make sure you stop by and say hey to the SOSTA folks. I know Brad will be there doing a couple of sessions. Brad Johnson, he's also doing a keynote later on in the conference as well. But definitely stop by and thank them for helping put the reception on, as well as the actual welcome reception and sponsor showcase. So again, that's on Wednesday evening from 5 to 8. We're going to do the usual thing we do with prizes. So you can go around and talk to the vendors, collect tickets, and then you get a chance to win some prizes and those kind of things. So that's always very nice. Something we've been doing for the last couple, maybe 3 conferences or 2 conferences. I think this will actually be our 3rd time we're doing this, but we're doing the speaker mentoring. And speaker mentoring is led by Mr. Mike Lyles and Mark Tomlinson. They'll be getting up and going through some real basic kind of speaker mentoring things for folks that are new to speaking. And of course, everybody can always pick up some tips on how to present better and those kind of things. And this is a really valuable session, and we get a lot of really good feedback from the speakers that attend. It's generally kind of small. There's between 12 and 20 folks that usually attend this, but it's something that you definitely want to check out if you'd like to pick up some new tips on speaking and those kind of things. And then STPCon ends on Thursday evening, around 5 o'clock, 4 to 5 o'clock, I believe. So that's kind of the difference between the past. We used to end in the afternoon at like 1 or noon, and now we've extended that so to go a full day on Thursday. So that's the schedule. Pretty straightforward. If you have any questions about it or anything like that, you can definitely send us an email at info@softwaretestpro.com, or you can send it to James at jsteiner@softwaretestpro.com, and we'll show his email again at the end of the presentation. So your conference registration that you get as a speaker is complimentary. The registration portion of it that's complimentary is for the actual conference itself from April 1st to April 2nd. You're able to get into all sessions, all events, and we encourage you to do so. If you're not speaking, we encourage you to check out some sessions of some fellow speakers, some great topics. This particular round, the automation and the performance sessions right now at last check are just exploding. People are signing up for them like crazy. So there's some really great sessions on those two topics as well. So you might want to check some out if you're into that. Workshops that are on Monday and Tuesday, the 30th and 31st. If you'd like to attend those, you can do so. Basically, we have those broken out by day, and they're $395 per day for the actual speakers. So we're providing a discount of $100 per day for you guys. So the workshops aren't included in the complimentary registration, but certainly if you'd like to attend the workshops, you most certainly can. So again, all you'd have to do to figure out how to get that done is send James an email, and there's his email address right there. Upcoming speaker deadlines. Here's part of the reason why a lot of folks are here today. So we've got a few deadlines coming up. The first one, March 13th. This one actually has been extended, but to March 13th. It was last Friday, I believe, but it's the AV request form. So if you are in a session and you need a flip chart, I have flip charts there, but generally flip chart is best because we only have so many that we can provide our speakers, and we have to spread those around. You need, like, for instance, you have a video that you're playing and you need a speaker. I have a couple speakers that I can provide as well. But just so you know, every room, so you don't have to worry about this on the AV request form, but every room includes a projector, a screen, a slide advancer, presentation table. So there'll be a table there for you to set your items on, a podium, and most of the rooms will be set in classroom style / theater style. And the reason for that is we've had, like I mentioned before, a great deal of registrations, and some of our rooms are going to be quite full. So what we've decided to do is the first portion of the room, the first half of the room or so, we're going to set it up in classroom style with tables and chairs. And then toward the back, we'll have kind of what they call theater seating. So these are chairs that are next to each other in the back of the room. There's been a few sessions, especially Brad Johnson's session last time in Denver. We had to bring in a whole bunch of chairs in the back of the room because his room was overflowing. So that's something we're going to be paying attention to during the conference, and hopefully we'll have a room set so that we don't have to disturb your session by bringing in chairs this year. The next speaker deadline is March 20th. That's next Friday. Your presentation is due. We need these a little bit early. March 20th is kind of cutting it short for us. We have to set up a page and set up some download features for the attendees so they can actually log in and get to their presentations that they want to download prior to the conference. And that's always helpful for folks to have, when they come into your session, so they can kind of have an idea what you're talking about, and maybe spur some questions based on those presentations. If you can go ahead and send those to James, there's his email address. We accept standard PPT, PPTX. We even can accept Keynote or PDF. If you do provide a PDF to us, if you could make that 2 up, so 2 screens per page, that would be really helpful. We do receive quite a few PDFs from time to time, and that's very helpful because that kind of removes a step for us. We don't have to convert and or export as a PDF, so that's nice. When you send the PPT and the keynote, please try to keep it smaller than 10 megabytes. There's some email problems with that, as well as uploading them to our website. It takes up a little space. We do have some limits on the size of file we can upload, but if you can make sure that it's under 10 megabytes, that would be great. And then you also want to make sure that you've named it properly. We usually like for you to put your last name dot abbreviated session title dot ppt. It helps us with the organization when we're creating our page as well. So you can find the presentation guidelines at stp.com/speaker-resources, where you'll find all this information. And also, just so you know, this presentation that I'm using here, this template that I have here, is also available there as well. A lot of people use their own presentation templates, and we're fine with that. Whatever you want to do. But if you want to try to help us brand Software Test Professionals Conference, feel free to use this template. You can do so. We want to make sure the presentations look nice and everything like that. So that's why we provide this as well. So what to bring? Of course, bring your laptop. Believe it or not, I have to say this. It's like the old, the coffee is hot thing. Don't spill it on yourself. We have had quite a few folks show up in the past without a laptop, and we do have a backup laptop available in case someone's machine goes down. And that's happened too. But we like to be able to keep that in reserve for those emergency purposes, so that we can actually get somebody up and running if they do have a technical problem. But so please, bring your laptop. We don't care if you're an Apple user or a Mac user. That's fine with us. But if you are a Mac user, make sure you bring your dongle. This is very important. I do have a couple of extra dongles myself, but again, sometimes people lose one or something like that, and the ones that I have, we kind of try to reserve for emergency purposes. So make sure you bring your dongle, and the best thing to bring is a VGA dongle, not a DVI dongle. Our projectors are all VGA, so this is the proper picture of a VGA dongle. Also, power cord. This happens more times than you can imagine. People forget their power cord. I know I've forgotten mine on a trip, and I had to go to the Apple store and buy a new one, and that's an expensive venture. But this, please make sure you run through your little checklist before you leave on the plane, and make sure you have your power cord as well. Your presentation and backup. We do have your presentations. But normally what we do with them, the purpose why we have them is so that we can actually convert them to a PDF and upload them on the website for folks to download. So if you're looking for your presentation, it's probably going to be in PDF 2 up from us, and that won't look very good on the screen. We do have the capability to bring, and we usually do bring backups of them as well. And that's important for you guys to know too. But what I recommend is everybody have your presentation on your machine, your most up-to-date presentation right there on your desktop, and then just go ahead and copy it over to a USB, stick that in your pocket. You never know when something goes wrong, something could happen. You wouldn't be able to get to that presentation. You'd have that backup in your pocket, and then we could hook you up with a spare machine and take care of you. So, a little funny thing here during today's presentation, I'll be reading my PowerPoint slides word for word. I put that there as kind of a dig, but this is something that we get feedback from on occasion, not too often from our speakers, but we have received this feedback before in the past. It's important to be practiced with your presentation. Of course, information is good on a page, but what you want to avoid is presentation overkill, something along these lines. Where you've got a graph that you can only see from about 3 feet away, and so the guy sitting in the back of the room isn't going to be able to see this. So, it's important to make sure that your presentation is well laid out It's not too wordy. It doesn't contain too much information per slide, and you're well practiced with it. A lot of things that one of the presentation tips that I've heard for in the past is it's better to use some images that will actually remind you of a concept, and then of course you've got that concept memorized. You can speak to the slide instead of reading the slide. So important to remember those little tips there. Also bring your business cards. It's always, you never know. A lot of you are practitioners. A lot of you are also consultants and vendors. It's always important to make sure that you have a way, because business does happen at STPCon. So we've had that a lot in the past where folks can make some good connections and get some good leads at STPCon, and it's important for you to make sure you're able to hook up with folks at once the show is over. Of course, bring your smiles. You know, that's very, very important. Walking around in the hallway, if you've got a smile on your face, you're much more approachable. And I know you guys will probably be annoyed by my smile. I know I say hello to almost everybody I walk by and try to smile, unless I'm running. Then I'm breathing heavy. So want to bring a customer. Kind of one of the things that we've done for folks in the past. If you have a particular customer that's in town in San Diego and you'd like to bring them, we can offer them a discounted rate so that they can come see your session and or the entire conference. So just contact James about that, and we'll work something out for you. And please, no surprise co-presenters. This happens almost every STPCon we have. Someone will show up with a surprise co-presenter. We do a lot of planning on heads, how many folks are going to be there and how much food we buy, and a whole bunch of other cost factors that go into play when you're running a conference. And sometimes some surprise co-presenters where, as a whole, or is kind of a low impact, but it does actually make a difference to us. And it can be difficult for your attendee if you've got a co-presenter that they weren't aware that was going to be there. Sometimes that'll throw people off as well. So, and we have had some co-presenters be quite disruptive during a presentation. So, it's important that if you're doing your presentation, you need to make sure you're in charge of it, and your material is well practiced. Connectivity, there will be wireless internet throughout the conference. So once you're on site, we'll give you that information, and we'll let you know what that is, because we don't get the information until we get there either. So, but just so you know, there will be connectivity going on throughout the, so if you need to hit a website or something like that during your presentation, you can do so. Finally, we have the social media information here. This is very important. We always ask you guys to do a little bit of, we're in the point right now where we've gotten most of our registrations from outside of California, and we're early next week we start to focus on, local promotions to get people that are right there in San Diego to the show. So, as that happens, if you've got a little something to say on Twitter, please do so. And if you do so, please encourage people to come by and see your presentation. Our Twitter name is at Software Test Pro. The official hashtag for STPCon is, of course, STPCon. We're also on Instagram. We did that last in Denver for the first time. And so you can basically follow Software Test Pro on Instagram, and you can tag your photos from STPCon with STPCon, and we'll be telling the folks in the audience about that as well. So, and we'll actually probably have a page that's displaying some of the Instagram streams and those kind of things as well. So also our Facebook page, Software Test Pro, just check that out. We'll be putting some information, maybe some pictures on there as well. Our primary social media tool here at STPCon is Twitter. We utilize Twitter more than any of the other social media tools. And so, that's generally the best way to see kind of what's going on and communicate with Software Test Pro and see what's going on with the conference. So just keep that in mind. So we encourage you also to promote STPCon on your blog, your Twitter, as I just mentioned. And if you have an email list, we certainly would love for you to promote STPCon on your email list. If you'd like to, if you do have an email list and you want to have a custom email done, I can help with that, with the code and this, that, and the other, and do kind of a neat uh, HTML email for you to send out to your list. That's no problem too. So just let me know about that, and my contact information will be here in just a moment. And there it is. So again, that's the speaker orientation call. That is everything that we basically care about and hope that you're made aware of. Um, we will be on site, the staff, starting on Friday. James and I will be there doing some bag stuffing and badge stuffing and a few other things here and there. Peggy will join us on Saturday. And then, of course, we will be in the hotel on Sunday. And our reg desk actually opens up at noon on Sunday in the Bel Air foyer, which is again in the Bay Tower on the first floor. So when you guys show up to San Diego, stop by the reg desk, pick up your bag, your badge. We will have a little speaker gift there for you because we really appreciate you guys, speaking for us. And that's basically all I have to say. I do have a number of questions that looks like that came up, and my question panel for some reason did not scroll for me. Let's just start here. It looks like someone lost up. It looks like Michael Larson lost order. Oh, he got it back. And yes, James made up an important point. The sessions are only 60 minutes long, so you want to take that into consideration. You want to leave time for questions, and you want to make sure that you end when you're supposed to end, and you move out of the room quickly, because we do have about a 15-minute transition period between each session. So it's important to give the speaker that's coming in the common courtesy to allow them to set their stuff up, because some folks can be a little more nervous at the beginning than others. So you want to give them plenty of time to do so. So as you end your session and people are asking you questions, it's best to kind of just tell them, say, hey, I'm just going to get my stuff out of the way here while I answer your question, and that kind of thing, and then you can take it out into the hallway. Between the sessions, we do have a couple breaks, so there's an opportunity to chat with people out there over a cup of coffee, a soda, or a snack after lunch. So one question that Curtis asked, will all talks be recorded? And the answer is no. We may record a subset of talks. In Denver, we had a disaster with our recording software, and we had some issues with that. We're still trying to correct some of those things, but we've corrected the issue that we've had now, and we'll be recording a subset of sessions. Usually we try to record the top 10 sessions. It's just we don't, honestly, we want people to come to the conference live, and that's how STP stays alive, is to get people to register for their conference. So we don't record all the sessions, but we try to do a few so they're teased. Let me see here. One more question. Don't forget to remind the speakers. Thank you, Jim. Jim Sivak makes a very important point, and I can't believe that I didn't have it in my presentation, and I will add it for the next STPCon, Jim. I appreciate that. It's all about the speaker evaluations. We take feedback from our attendees very, very, it's very, very important to us. It helps us to kind of decide on, honestly, will we have a speaker back? If the speaker's just done an outstanding job and those kind of things, we like to promote those folks and use them for other things throughout the year and help promote their brand and themselves and that kind of thing. So that's important. But it's really important to us to make sure that our program has hit target. that our speakers are hitting the target, and not doing any unnecessary promotion of their own products, companies or brands or those kind of things. It's really important to keep your sessions in an educational format, and really kind of try to stay away from a product pitch. Those type of sessions get extreme bad feedback from us. We've received that in the past. So during your early on in the presentation, James and I, between the sessions, will be running around collecting evaluations and also making sure that there are fresh evaluation forms available to the speakers and to the attendees in each room. And so at the beginning of your presentation, it's important to mention, please fill out the session evaluation form, put it in the back of the room in the basket, and then mention it again at the end of the presentation before you say, thanks for joining us, joining me, and everything like that. Very, very important for us to get that feedback. And thank you, Jim, for bringing that up. And with that, it looks like it's kind of the last question I have here in the question panel. And again, I want you guys to make sure you understand, if you have any questions or anything that you need, any issues or anything, you can just follow our contact information here, send us a message, and we'll figure it out and get it taken care of. Again, thank you everybody thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Thanks everybody for joining us today. Thanks again to our CAB for helping us put together a great program. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your busy schedules to come out to San Diego and speak for us. We really appreciate that. And I am really looking forward to seeing everybody in San Diego and shake your hand and have a couple of drinks during the reception. So thanks again, and this concludes our speaker orientation call. Have a great afternoon.